Hey there, everybody. It's Carpo. I probably look a little bit disheveled and haggard from my week in Montana, but I'd like to stand in front of the camera anyway and make a video. My last video before we head home. I've had a wonderful trip out here. It's been very eye-opening, reminiscent, and it really puts me in a place that I need to be in my mind right now. And as we were packing up to leave this morning, after our last night here, my son says, "Oh, it's September now, isn't it? September 1st?" I said, "Yeah." And then it all hit me. September 1st was the anniversary of my father's death. Prior to him saying that, I was sitting there reading a camping and survival book, and I was telling him stories of my mother and my father who were hiking in the desert and had jets flying below them in the valley and breaking the sound barrier. One time when my father was out with his friend Larry, and they were hiking and got caught in a gully during a flash flood. And I was just reminiscing because my father took me camping. He taught me to appreciate these things. He taught me to really appreciate nature. And so I think about him a lot when I'm out here. It's been 28 years. He died in, I think, 91. But it was just the coincidence of him saying it's September 1st. I never would have realized the date or even thought about it. I knew that date echoed in my mind and resonated with something. And it's just a very special realization. I broke down crying, and then I came down here to make a video. And I guess this video is really just to express how important it is to do the things that you want to do in your life. My father died at 42. I'm 43 now, and that's a scary time to pass. Now, when you've seen someone who had so much more living to do, so much more hiking and traveling to do. My dad joined the military, and he ended up going to Vietnam and shooting a lot of people and getting shot at. And it fucked him up. And a soft soul like him is naturally going to... he was a poet, he was a thinker, he was a hiker, he liked his isolation, his solitude. And I'm just at that point where I understand a little more about his mindset at the time when I was young. And so maybe I'm just making this as a two-pronged approach to life to say, I guess in one way this is giving props to my dad and saying thanks for being there, thanks for teaching me things about the outdoors, proper etiquette within nature, how to handle firearms, how to be respectful, not litter, all these things that seem pretty obvious, but most people, or a lot of people, just seem to not get the fucking message. Throwing garbage out their window and shooting guns, near other people. Just, when you're outdoors, you have to follow a certain set of principles. And leave no traces, of course, one of them. I like to leave a campsite better than I found it. And that's because of my dad. He taught me these things. And so I'm with my oldest son. He's 25. And maybe that's why it hit me so hard. Because I'm passing down those skills to him, just like my father passed down to me. And he's become a great steward of the land. He's a great kid, great man. Sorry, we were just talking about this, how it's easy to always call your kids kids, but they deserve the respect to be called a men or women after they've grown up, I guess. If you've ever wanted to visit a place like Montana, I love Montana. I've only been here a few times, but it's always stuck in my mind. Find a way to do it. You might have to sacrifice a little bit from driving a nicer car or not buying a bigger house, but it depends on what's important to you. If you're not the kind of person who wants to go out and see nature, then you're in good company, because a lot of folks don't. But if you do, make the time for it. Make the time for experiences, because they're the most important part of life. You always remember your experiences. Very few people give a damn about the purchases that they had before. So, much love to you all. Much love to my dad, wherever he may be. I'll talk to y'all later.